Live from Manchester Morgue mostly contains spoilers. Mostly.
This is not a dream. We are using your preferred podcast provider as a receiver.
Welcome to Live from Manchester Morgue, the show where we talk about two horror films that we think would make for a really good double bill. Not just a bit good, really good. Because they are linked in some way, perhaps thematically, perhaps via a director or anything we see fit because it's our podcast and we can do what we want. I'm
This one's
Gary.
very linked.
It's
This one's
very
very
a
linked.
little bit linked. I'm Gary. With me as usual is Ken. Hello, Ken.
Hello.
This episode, we're going to talk about Keir Roach Turner's most recent film, which is called Beast of War. We were big fans of that. It's got a big shark in it, and then we're going to talk about some other shark film. Probably not heard of it. Probably never heard of the other shark film we're going to talk.
No. Believe it or not, guys, some people that listen to this, there's a possibility, if they're of a certain age demographic, might not have heard of Jaws.
Well, they'll have heard of it. I refuse to believe there's anyone on the planet that at this point hasn't at least heard of Jaws.
So, actually, little mini story to start us off.
Oh, great. I love a mini story.
As I may have mentioned before, my partner is a teacher, and she's
fucking seen Jaws.
Surely. Well, she's seen Jaws. Well, actually, she's only seen Jaws during our relationship. She'd not seen it her entire adult life.
Holy cow!
And she showed it. She shows films to the kids when it's like, I don't know, it's whenever teachers can't be asked working, they like put films on. I hope she doesn't listen to this particular episode.
The same thing, yeah.
Yeah, and she put Jaws on, and I was like, I think it was like the year 11, so it's like it's fine. And I was like, did they like it? Because I would have been so pissed if like the kids were like, oh, it's boring, there's no CGI or whatever. But no, all the kids were just like rapt attention.
It's an excellent film.
This is the power of Jaws. This was made in the 1970s, and young teenagers are just like, yeah, this is meant.
Yeah, 75 it came out, so that's at the time of recording, 51 years old, that film.
Yeah, and it's still endlessly rewatchably perfect.
It's such a good film.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've heard of it, great. Thanks for joining. We'll talk about it a bit more in a short while. Could I just do one of the? It's called a call to action, where we ask listeners to do something.
Did you just explain a marketing term?
Yes, because it's in my notes, so I just read it verbatim because I can't think for myself. I have to read from a script. So, call to action. Can you please share the show with your friends? Chuck us a rating on Spotify or another less evil platform, because Spotify sucks. Thanks, Spotify. Yeah. Leave us a comment. We like responding to those. And we do have some listener comments to read out and we'll respond to shortly. We're also on Instagram under Manchester Morgue Pod. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's not very active. And
we're not very good at memes, but...
No, we're shit at memes. But, we're old. That's fine. We don't have to meme. It's for the kids.
Yeah.
In it. Coming up on the show, we've got a special guest too. We've done an interview with Ryan Prows, who's here to talk about his new film, Night Patrol, about vampire cops. CM Punk is in it. Justin Long is in it. Ken's seen it. I haven't. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. Should we delve into some news before we continue with the film things?
I feel like we should have a news jingle soon. I think we should formulate a news jingle. Yeah.
I'm quite good at keeping up on having at least a little bit of news in each episode now. So yeah, maybe I used. Well, back in the day when we did another show, I used to use that Army of Darkness one with Ash. I used to use a bit of that, and then I stopped. I don't know why. Anyway, so a bit of shit news really, because there's been some bad deaths. Catherine O'Hara.
Oh wow,
that's fucking sucked. So obviously, famously, I mean, we're a horror show. She was in Beetlejuice. She was in The Last of Us, in the last series of The Last of Us. Yeah. She was in so many things. I mean,
she's got an insane career. Like Home Alone,
she was in everything. But I mean, she
Saturday
was
Night Live.
Everyone's mum in Home Alone. I think everyone of a certain age just saw her as their mum, and it was really sad. And then I found out today that Tom Noonan died.
Yeah, I saw your post. It was the first that I'd heard. Yeah,
I think it's only just been announced, but I think he died on Valentine's Day, so it's been a couple of days, but it only broke today. He's obviously horror royalty, Monster Squad, Red Dragon, House of the Devil, Late Phases, that werewolf one, that was good.
Oh,
And The
that's also
Retirement
good.
Home. Yeah,
Also,
and Eight-Legged Freaks.
yeah,
Plays the
also,
spider weirdo. Sorry, go on.
excuse you, Manhunter, not Red Dragon. Red
Did I
Dragon's
say Red Dragon?
Red Dragon's the Brett
Holy
Ratner
shit.
adaptation.
Oh God, it is. Yeah. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Tom. Don't want to be in that bag of shite. I think yeah, I was googling his films just to make sure I didn't miss any, and I think it must have come up on Google, but I've read it wrong. Sorry, Tom. Um, so yeah, sad. Tom Noonan was great. Particularly liked him in Late Phases. I remember watching that, and he plays a priest in it,
Yeah.
and it's a very understated role, but he just came across really natural, and it was really believable, which is, I
Yeah,
guess, what you want out of a performance. But it just that one particularly rang
and
true for me for some reason.
it's a change from people casting him as the creepy tall guy.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of which, you missed out. He
Oh,
plays Kane in RoboCop 2.
fucking hell. I did. You know what? I did think of that today, and then I didn't write it down. Of course, he was Kane in RoboCop 2.
Yeah, he's one of the only reasons to watch that film. In fact, I'm lying to myself. I love RoboCop 2.
RoboCop 2 is mint. It's awful, but it's mint. I mean, it's when you compare it to the first one, it's not comparable at all, is it? The
No.
first one's just cinematic history, and the second one is Frank Miller scripted mad shit.
Yeah.
Um, but it's fine. I mean, I watched RoboCop 2 when I was a kid, which makes it good. You know, a lot of things happen like that.
Yeah.
So there's a new Mummy film coming out.
There's two new Mummy films.
Yeah, why I'm talking about, yeah, I was talking about the Brendan Fraser one, the Stephen Summers one. So there's a new return to that universe. But then there's Lee
Yeah.
Cronin's The Mummy as well, which is nothing to do with the Universal property.
Yeah. It seems to be coming from. Oh wait, so it's not a licensed Universal thing.
I don't think so. No, I think it's just he's.
Ah.
I think that's why it's called Lee Cronin as the Mummy or something because it's, like you have to have. Was there a mummy in the 90s? I feel like there was something like that. It's like you've got to put someone's name on it to differentiate it from the one that.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was a mummy in the 90s. There was like such and such's mummy. I think it
Yeah,
might have been one of those nonsensical ones where Clive Barker picked up the script for 5 seconds, so it's Clive Barker's the mummy. Something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So I don't think it's Clive's, but yeah, it's along those lines for sure. But yeah, so yeah, the Lee Cronin one, I don't think it's anything to do with the Universal property, but obviously the Stephen Summers franchise is the Universal property, isn't it? That's what
Yeah.
it's based on. So yeah, Brendan Fraser's returning. Um, so yeah, that's exciting because I mean, I don't recall the quality of the sequels. I mean, I'm a big fan of the first one. The first one rules. I don't remember being that into the second one.
So The Mummy Returns is good, but it's like the definition, it's like the dictionary definition of the same but bigger.
Right, yeah.
So it's literally the same set pieces, the exact same scenes,
Oh,
but like, a bit bigger, bit more budget. I like it because I liked the first one, and the second
yeah.
one is just more of that. The third one, a lot of people shit on it. I don't think it's that bad. That's the one with Dragon
Is that
Emperor, the one with
this
Jet Li.
right? So which one's the Scorpion King?
So that's the spin-off of Mummy Returns
But
that
he
came
was in.
before.
Was he not in one
He
of the Mummy
was
films? Though? Which one?
Mummy Returns.
No, so it's the second one, right? Sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, okay. So yeah, because that's some bad CGI. I remember, I
it
remember
is
that.
famously bad
Oh,
CGI.
so bad, yeah.
Yeah,
Scorpion Rock,
yeah.
right? So the Jet Li one, I haven't seen that one then because I think I gave up after the second one because I wasn't impressed.
It's okay. It's fine. Like they misused Jet Li, they recast Rachel Weisz, but Brenda Fraser's in it, and I love Brenda Fraser, so
Well, I think Rachel Weisz is coming back for the new one, isn't she?
she is. Yeah,
Evie, Evie's
yeah.
coming back. Um, they're making the Mist again.
Oh yeah, Mike Flanagan's making the mist.
Flanagan's doing
So
that, and his Carrie TV show is supposed to be out this year. But yeah, Flanagan's doing another version of The Mist, which is I think will that be the third one? There was a TV show, wasn't there?
was oh yes, there was. Yeah, you're right. I
I
forgot
haven't
about
watched
that.
it.
I haven't watched it now.
No, but I mean, we're pretty down with remakes on this show. I think I've said before. I think good stories deserve to be retold. I don't see there's anything wrong with making another adaptation of The Mist. I just think the other one's not that old comparably, is it? Really?
I also
Feels
think
like it's not.
I also think that Stephen King adaptations usually, well, s- a lot of the time. the original adaptation doesn't get it quite right because it was made for the wrong reasons, but then someone
Yeah,
remakes
sure.
it and gets it right. And I
Like The
think
Shining, The
like
Shining, for example,
yeah.
famously not really like the book. Um,
Yeah.
but there are better creative decisions in the film than I think were in the book. Some of the book's dog shit, honestly.
But I think The Mist, Frank Darabont's adaptation, is basically perfect.
Yeah, it's a good film. It's horrible. Just that cosmic Lovecraftian tentacles eating people. I can't get enough of that, me.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Mike Flanagan can do with it other than have people
Mm,
talking at length about mortality.
yeah. You know
Yeah.
what happens if you go outside and then it'll be like 10 minutes.
A 10-minute monologue, yeah.
10 minutes
Yeah.
of that, yeah. Um, would you like to hear some nice feedback about the show?
I always like to hear nice feedback
This is really
because
nice feedback. This
I
is
work in a dark, cold morgue, so
it's true. We can't even afford to turn the lights on down here. It's just laptop screen is my only illumination, but
yeah.
it helps me to read this. So Dabkey on the Moon, a new listener, I believe, he told me that they told me that they've been binging the episodes. Hi Gary and Ken, I'm a newer listener to Live from Manchester Morgue. Just wanted to reach out and say how much I'm enjoying the show. I've binged 8 episodes so far, and your deep dives into Silent Hill and Jacob's Ladder and the John Carpenter Apocalypse trilogy have been my absolute favourites. The interview with Nicholas Vince was also truly amazing. Hearing from the chatterer himself and learning more about the history of the character was cool. You guys have really changed how I view horror and taught me so much about my favourite horror films. Keep up the great work. If
Well,
that's not the most glowing review anyone's ever had about anything, then I am a monkey's uncle.
that's
That
really,
was
really
me.
good.
That was me saying that. That wasn't part of the quote.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really, really good. Many, many years ago when I was in studying film, I used to read like magazines and like watch like Barry Norman, and because I'm that old, Google Barry Norman for anyone who doesn't know who that is.
Do they
Um,
still make that with someone else now?
um, it was Barry
Because
Norman, and then it was Jonathan
Jonathan
Ross, and
Ross,
then it
yeah.
was Richard Ayoade for a bit. I
Oh,
don't know
did
if
he
they,
do it?
yeah, I don't know if they still do it. Um, I think it was Simon Amstell for a while, and I got
Was
really
it?
annoyed because I don't like Simon Amstell.
Fuck you,
Um,
Simon Amstel.
but yeah, all those years ago, like I wanted to be a journalist. I'm not currently a journalist. I just have
Yeah,
a
you are.
horror
You've got a
podcast.
podcast, Ken.
I'm an
This is
influencer.
journalism. We've done just interviewed a director who worked with CM Punk. How's that not
Yeah,
journalism?
yeah. So tangentially, we met CM Punk.
Yeah, exactly. We might as well have his phone number at this point.
Yeah. So all those years ago, all I wanted to do was kind of be a journalist. And when I used to tell people, they're like, "Oh, you want to write think pieces on like genre and stuff?" I'm like, "No, I want to just write reviews because I want someone to pick up a magazine, see my fair and measured review, and go and see a film and have an experience."
Well,
So the
that's the
fact that
thing.
someone's listening to us and then reframing their perspective of certain films, outstanding.
It's great, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, what the whole point of the podcast is to celebrate horror as a genre. So if people are getting something like that out of it, then we're doing something that I think we've set out and intended to do. So that's good news,
Yeah.
I think. So thank you for listening. Please continue to do so, and we'll come up with some more cinematic treats, such as what have you watched this week, Ken?
Oh, I've watched loads. I'm gonna have to rattle through.
I made myself watch something new just because I'm sick of having nothing to talk about in this section. So
Right.
shall I
Do you want to
shall I
do
do
yours
mine
first?
first? Yeah,
Yeah.
just for a laugh. Right, VFW.
Oh, I actually love that film. The one,
Yeah, it was loads of fun. I asked on Reddit, which is obviously a mistake in a lot of ways, but I asked on Reddit for recommendations for siege horror films because they're the best, I think.
yeah,
You know, we're fans of. If I have two favorite subgenres of horror, one is siege horror, the other one is botched resurrections, right?
yeah,
So this being, so we talked. I asked for recommendations for siege horror films, and someone said VFW, and I hadn't heard of it, and it was fucking great. It was loads of fun. Proper 80s throwback, right down to the score. It literally could have been a zombie film. You've got a bunch of 80s style whacked out, drugged up like crackheads trying to invade a bar full of grizzled veterans who have to resort to violence to keep them out.
yeah,
Um, Loads of great. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a horror film as such. I think that the horror elements will probably be from the hordes of criminals outside who are zombie esque, but it's not really a horror film. But it's thrown in with that because it's because of all the really good practical effects. There's people getting cleavers to the face. There's arms getting chopped off with axes and all kinds of cool shit. Heads blown off with shotguns. Yeah, VFW. It's got a really good cast as well.
Yeah, great, great.
William Sadler's in there.
What is why am I blanking on his name? The guy Colonel Quaritch from Avatar, Nicholas. What I'm blanking on his name. The guy from Avatar. The yeah.
Is he in?
But
Is he the guy from Don't Breathe?
yes,
Right, yeah, him.
Stephen Lang. Stephen Lang. We got him.
Stephen
I
Lang,
got
that was it.
I got him
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah. Martin Kobe is in there.
Yeah,
John Kreese himself from Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. Yeah, it was
yeah.
loads of fun.
So that's Joe Begos, the director.
Hmm.
I say I have a history with Joe Begos. I don't really, in that I
Have you got
watched
his
Blit.
phone number?
No, I mean a history with watching his films. So I watched Bliss, which is the film that he made before VFW, which is a vampire film, and I found it to be very kind of full on, very loud, very grungy, almost too much for me.
All right.
Um,
What was it
and I
called?
was Bliss.
Bliss. All right.
Yeah, it's a vampire film. So I'm like, I don't like this. It's not for me. I'm too old. It's too loud. My ears hurt. And then I watched VFW. I'm like, this is basically fucking perfect, like, retro kind of
Yeah,
feel.
it was. It was. I mean, like right down to the grain they used on the film or whatever. It looked like it was done through some sort of retro filter because
Yeah.
it was a bit too dark in places. Like you'd watch something on VHS in the 80s. It was like a cyberpunk synthesizer scored like violent thriller kind of thing in the future. It was like that, right down to the fact that you couldn't always see quite what was going on, but
Well,
by invention.
speaking of cyberpunk, he went on after VFW to make Christmas Bloody Christmas, which is about a murderous
Oh,
robotic Santa.
of course he did.
It's very, very fun.
That sounds great. Yeah, well, I'll watch anything with him now because, yeah, sorry, VFW was really fun.
Oh, I'm glad you like that.
Yeah, it was good. So, pray tell us, what have you seen?
So
Good
I'll
sir.
start with we were generously gifted a screener for a film called Dolly.
Oh, have you
Um,
watched it? I meant to watch that before the show. Then I didn't get time, unfortunately.
hey, if someone gives me a free film, I'm going to watch it straight away. So I watched a film called Dolly. It's a very, very interesting. The best way I can describe it in the simplest way, it's a throwback to Texas Chainsaw Massacre style 1970s exploitation, like backwoods horrors.
Got a bit weird.
Um, yes, very weird.
I like that.
It runs with the Leatherface archetype in that the killer is like a big woman dressed like a doll.
Okay.
Um, it was interesting. It's very simple. It goes in, goes in some kind of. It's a lot of exploitation horrors nowadays have like a bit more kind of subtext and they're trying to say something. This one doesn't, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to
It
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, it has Sean William Scott in it. So this isn't a spoiler because it happens in the first like 5 minutes of the film. It has Sean William Scott, and I'm like, Sean William Scott's great. He's done a couple of horrors before, which I really enjoyed. His serious stuff's always good.
Mhm.
He gets like his leg broken by a spade and his jaw cut off with a
Wow.
spade, like 5 minutes in. And I'm like, how dare I'm about to give this 1 star on Letterboxd because they killed off Sean William Scott. But oh no, he survives for the rest of the film, and I'll
Oh
leave you
hell
with that
yeah!
fact. I'll leave you
Wow.
just with that fact.
Fucking hell!
It's a very
Who knew
interesting,
Stifler could pull that off? Jesus Christ!
yeah.
Wow.
So that's good. Check out Dolly when it comes out. I think it's on Shudder, or I think you can do it, on VOD. I watched
Yep.
Whistle, which was good. Whistle is the film that's at cinemas at the moment, from Corin Hardy, who made The Hallow, which was a great kind of
Oh, the
fairy
Hollow.
folk. Yeah,
Is that the Irish one?
yeah,
Set
yeah,
in
like
Ireland. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The little goblin things.
little, yeah, fairies, whatever they're called.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So Whistle's really good. It's literally a cursed item film. So it's a cursed Aztec whistle, and when you blow it, your own death comes to chase you and kill you.
You know what?
Really,
I'll go as far as to say Cursed Item is probably my third favorite subgenre of horror after
yeah,
Botched Resurrections and Siege horror.
I love it too. I love it too. It's a bit, it's above. If you take something like, I don't know, Truth or Dare, which has like a box in it, a puzzle box or something in it, it's a bit above that. So it's quite good. It's really bleak. Daphne Keen's in it, who was in played X-23
Oh
in
yeah, yeah.
Logan, and
It's
nice
weird
to see
seeing her
her.
as an adult, like because I just still picture her as X-23.
Yeah, yeah. So she does really well in kind of a serious role because like all I've ever seen her in is bloody Marvel and Star Wars. So
I mean,
um,
Logan's a pretty serious film, to be
yeah, but
fair.
she's like a bloody swearing like whirling dervish kid that kills people.
Yeah,
So
it's not a serious role, is it? Yeah, fair, all right.
yeah. What else? I'm going to have a like split second mention for the new Emerald Fennell Wuthering Heights, which I've never read Wuthering Heights. I've never seen an adaptation of Wuthering Heights. I really fucking loved it, and I basically loved it because it's just horror. It's just a gothic horror. Um,
Okay, all right.
so yeah. And then finally, Ryan Prow's Night Patrol,
Night
which is
Patrol.
I think as I like it should have had like a theme song like that. Night Patrol.
Night Patrol, taking back the night. Diddly-dee.
Um, so if anyone remembers the episode where we interviewed the filmmaker who made Landlord, please go and listen to that episode because I'm blanking on his name, even though it was a great film. Um, they, it's very similar to that in that it's a kind of racism allegory. It has vampires in it. It's about controlling corrupt cops. It's incredibly relevant to the times that we are living in now. Um, yeah, it's a very grounded film. I think in the interview that we have with Ryan, I compare it's basically like gang warfare meets vampires with cops. The cops are the
Right.
vampires. Um, and I compared it to the gang side of it is kind of Colors. The Robert Duvall died recently.
Of course he did. Yes, that was in the
Yeah,
last couple of days, wasn't it? Yeah, I'd forgotten about that one. I should have done that in my in memoriam section because we're just as important as the Oscars, actually.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, Rob Duvall and Sean Penn did a really great kind of corrupt gangs versus cops. I think it's Crips and Bloods versus cops in drama called Colors and Menace to Society, which are very kind of stark, uh, serious cop and gang dramas. That's what Night Patrol is for like three quarters of it. And then there's also vampires, and there's like a vampire rampage, and CM Punk uh, wears metal vampire fangs, and it's cool.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, more on that in a mo because the director Ryan Prows was very kind enough to join us for an interview, which we'll play for you in a moment. The landlord film we were talking about was directed by Remington Smith.
Oh yes, I remember now.
I wanted to make sure we got that on because he was a really nice guy, really nice to talk to, and Landlord is a really good film as well about a vampire landlord.
Yeah.
And with that, um, we'll dive into the interview with Ryan Prowse. Here we go. Okay, for the next part of the show, we would like to extend a very warm morgue welcome to Mr. Ryan Prowse, who's here to talk about his new film Night Patrol, which is starring Justin Long. Is out on VOD in America right now. Welcome to the show, Ryan. Thanks for coming.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Um, yeah, Night Patrol. It's a really interesting film. I tell you what. I tell you what. We're going to get into Night Patrol. Night Patrol is an interesting film for many, many different reasons. I wanted to start off though because I only realized quite late on in my research. Research is as a term used very lightly for me. That you did one of my favorite VHS segments, Terror.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Terror from VHS 94. That was pound for pound one of the best shots in the VHS series. Kind of one of
Oh, appreciate
those.
it.
It's going one way and it goes a completely different way. Like fantastic creature effects, really good atmosphere. Um, can you tell us a little bit about the concept for that one before we dive into Night Patrol?
Yeah, I mean they are swimming in the same stream, I would say. Idea of that is like I was brought onto that end of 2020 and then we shot at the beginning of 2021. So it concerns like Michigan militia, sort of white nationalist militia that are going to blow up a government building here in the States in Michigan, and they're weaponizing a creature to do it with. I guess I can spoil it. It's they've caught a vampire and they're harvesting his blood to use it to explode when the sun hits it. And it was wild. Like we were prepping that movie. I was actually talking to the our special effects who did all the explosions and everything. Because we shot it in Canada and I'm in LA, so we were talking via Zoom on January 6th, which in 2021, which is when they stormed the Capitol here. So it was very apropos of what was going on at the time, unfortunately. And they had attempted to kidnap a governor or a plan to kidnap a governor a few months before that. So that was kind of the kickoff of where I kind of got the idea to do the Misha Goose having a ball with some vampire fun.
Yeah, really fantastic. It's obviously, as you say, it's swimming in the same pool as Night Patrol in that it's very focused on one thing and one style, but there's also a gnarly vampire in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I love kind of mixing and matching, like tones and genres and like, with Night Patrol, it's like a cop gang movie that's got vampires in it. And yeah, I always kind of find it fun to push the genre a bit if you can.
Yeah, so you do. Yeah, I want to touch on that a bit later because you do. It's an obvious genre blend, but it's for me it's not 50-50, and I think you do it in an interesting way. So we'll get onto Night Patrol. So you say that Terra conceptually met with kind of real life politics. The themes of Night Patrol. We're going to talk about Night Patrol kind of in our reaction to it in the show. But just talking to you here, the themes of Night Patrol come from a very specific place with regards to the current political climate, and now not only obviously I'm not sure what the production time of the film was and development time, but on its release, it's even more relevant. None more relevant, if you might ask.
If you will.
Yeah. So can you tell us a bit about the writing process?
Yeah. I was gonna add to it. Unfortunately, I mean, we've been working on Night Patrol like 8 years now, so it's not really anything that is new or goes away. Really, it seems like it just comes in waves of, like we obviously wanted to kind of take a big swing at, like, I mean, just straight racism, police violence, like just a lot of sort of the rot of America, and do it hopefully in a fun and thrilling way. But yeah, we were my first film, Low Life. We were on the festival circuit for that, and I co-wrote that with four other guys, and then three of those guys came on for Night Patrol, and we were kind of just kicking around like what was the next thing we were gonna start pitching around off of Low Life, and wanted to, like, Low Life is an even more of a genre blend. I don't even know, it was like hard to pitch and it was hard to sell and it was hard to kind of get in front of people. So that's kind of more of like a crime horror kitchen sink, buildings roman. I don't know. It's got everything in it. And so we were like, oh, let's just do like, sort of a horror, more just straight horror blend. And we're like, well, what's the scariest monster we can come up with? And the cops did the trick for us. So we were off and running there.
Yeah. CM Punk shaped cops, but we'll get get to them a bit later.
Cops.
Yeah, very, very scary cops. So I want to loop back to the kind of genre blend as well, and this is so. I'm sure you've had interviews about Night Patrol before, and people have mentioned Sinners as the big kind of comparison piece. I'm not going to go that far, to be honest, because I think as I was watching Night Patrol,
it's got black people and vampires in it. So
exactly, yeah. I'm not going to go that far. But what I think that you do is you have a primary genre, and the other genre is just kind of supplementary to the theme. Whereas something like Sinners, it's from the start, split in the middle. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Whereas I was watching the first half. It's even more than the first half. The first three quarter, first
Yeah.
two acts of Night Patrol. It feels like I was getting, you know, Menace to Society, like colors, like
Yeah.
it's kind of stark and cold, and you know, it's one of them things that if the final act didn't have, okay, there are vampires, it would
Yeah.
have worked it would have worked completely on its own.
Sure.
And I think that's definitely um that's definitely in the film's favor. I mean,
Cool. Yeah, I mean it's
I
a
get
blend of like movies that we all like. It's just it is those like obviously like I mean they call 90s like hood movies, like Menace is like one of my favorite movies. I really like their second movie, Dead Presidents as well, which is
oh, I love
kind of
that film so much.
yeah, it's man, awesome and sort of forgotten, but that's another sort of genre bender. But yeah, like taking those and like, could we do that? Could we do like a grounded sort of policier thing as well, like LA cops specifically, and make that feel real? And then yeah, like kind of freak it with vampires was like the fun sort of trick to it.
Yeah. With the LA cop side, you've got really interesting casting in Justin Long. And I mean,
Uh-huh.
Justin Long, obviously a lot of his career has been kind of based in comedies, worked with Kevin Smith a lot, but he's been trying these
Yeah.
kind of horror genre pieces recently. You do something else with him, you kind of put him in this kind of genre piece, but he's more grounded, he's more serious, he's definitely more reserved. It's a great
Yeah.
performance, obviously, until something happens to in the second half of the film.
Sure.
So how did the two of you approach this more serious take on his usual kind of acting persona?
Yeah, he was excited about it. Like it was a challenge to him. I mean, he's been around for a while, like you say, and like I mean, comedy is not easy, but also he's just a great actor, like he's just been in it so long. So like that was really, I feel like the lure to get him in was just like to be doing something kind of completely different or fresh or new. He's always kind of looking for that, like with, like you said, like getting into more of the horror space and everything as well. So we just tried to kind of push him a little bit further. And then, we brought him on kind of later in the process. It was again, it was the ups and downs of trying to get the movie made for forever. It's like 8 years we were shopping the script around and had actors in and out of it. So we had another actor in that role for a while that we were like sold the movie on, and then he dropped out, and luckily Justin had just done a VHS segment as well. One of the producers on it was Josh Goldblum, who produces all the VHS stuff, and got the script to him and was just like, "Hey." Like the way Justin tells it, he heard him kind of talking about it, like because we were we were like in pre-production as they were finishing up stuff for his VHS, and he heard him kind of talk about it. He said, "Oh, that sounds cool. Like, all right, whatever, And then he was like, "Why don't they come to me or talk to me about it?" And we ended up doing it. So he really saved us and came in, and once he was in, it was cool to see just because he was like, he was a little obviously reserved as we were kind of first talking about, a little hesitant of like, oh, this is not really my steez, but I definitely could see it was exciting to me to see him in that, like take a role on like that. And also just they're those type of guy, like his character is like a like background in like a special forces military type stuff or whatever. And those are like honestly to me the more realistic guys that aren't the super jacked up whatever dudes, although he did get in shape, which was cool. But the small, quiet, reserved, kind of in the back guys are like the scariest dudes to me, and that kind of
Yeah.
like that idea of that. So I thought he fit the bill really well, and then he just fully committed, and he wanted to shave his head, and he did like some police training. Like I said, he kind of yoked up a little bit, So it was cool to see him like in the time that he had, like really jump into it both feet, and yeah, I think it's like kind of a cool, different look for him and something new and exciting to watch him kind of just take it and run.
Yeah, he's great in the film. Speaking of yoked up, I think Gaz is pretty much chomping at the bit to ask you.
I'm not.
Are you a
No.
Punker fan?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's cool. My kid's a big fan of his. I
Mhm.
wanted to ask kind of. I'm interested how he got involved, but also what's the etiquette on set with working with a wrestler? Do you refer to him as Punk or Phil on set?
I was calling him Phil. He wanted to be Phil, like he's
Mm,
credited in the movie as Phil. I've got him in my phone as Phil, so I was
sure.
just calling him Phil. But I grew up like this is like a dream come true for me because it's like horror stuff and movies and hip hop stuff and wrestling. That's like all my favorite shit combined, you know. So I was just really excited to yeah, to have like sort of all sides of this going. And he was just, yeah, like totally. I mean, he's like a big horror movie fan, so he was like excited about it. And again, the way he tells it, he was like, oh, he thought he was gonna have to kind of audition for us or whatever. But I was like, once they were like, oh, Phil's into it, I was like, well, fuck, like
He's in.
he's doing it, you know. And you know, we did it a bit with Justin too, but you know, that was the cool thing about having four writers on there is like we were able to go back in and like we didn't have a ton of time, but really tailor it for once we had those guys committed to the to roles. Like Phil, we went and wrote like three more, you know, monologues for him because it's like, well, if you got the best talker in the business in there, like let's let him cook and you know start speechifying a bit. So initially he was kind of more of like just like the right hand man to Dermot's character, Sarge, and we made him more of like just a straight, you know, he's Darth Vader to Sarge's Emperor, if you want to use that reference.
Yeah, you do well with his persona as well because like Punk's not he's not the usual big guy WWE talk shit. That's what he does.
Yeah. Well, and we made him like run through every he's like snorting crank off of a knife and smoking cigars and drinking and like had fun with that too.
He looks very cool with a pair of metal teeth as well.
Man, I tell you what, he was like when we put him in too, he was like, "Oh shit, I look cool as hell." I was like, "You do look cool." Yeah, like the armor and everything. I mean, that's like the tragedy of all that stuff is like it's scary and like militaristic, you know, like cops is like scary as hell, but it does look. I mean, Judge Dredd is cool as fuck looking. So.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Speaking of the metal teeth and other kind of spiritual ideologies in the film, where did
Yeah.
the Zulu mythology usage come from?
Yeah. The metal teeth was actually like just in doing our research from like vampires and different cultures and different vampiric lore. There's like a West African vampire esque myth. It's not really like super vampire, but that they have iron teeth and they hang in trees and we talk about it a bit in the movie as well. But like when we found that to me was just such a cool like you know recontextualization or like it felt grounded, it felt like real, but also felt like something you hadn't seen within like vampire stuff before, and was just like a cool. You know, they didn't use it on the poster, but I thought I was like, man, that'd make a fucking killer poster.
Yeah,
I'm just like
Yeah.
metal fangs dripping down on like a police vest or whatever would have been pretty rad. But so yeah, it was kind of like in doing our research and then just kind of like how do we push it and kind of you know like do something fresh and like we tried to definitely be and it was funny like I've talked about this before but like and I've seen Justin talk about it so I think it's fair game but like you know when we were shooting he was like where are my like fangs and do I have like contact lenses and like he like I was jokingly like referring he's a vampire traditionalist and like we were like no we're not really doing that we're trying to kind of do something different here so he was a little bummed about that but yeah and that it was just I've seen a million vampire movies I'm sure everybody else who's watched has seen them and you know we were also kind of like the fun of it was like Bornelius, Freddie Gibbs' character, and those guys have seen a million vampire movies, so they're trying to figure out even what they're dealing with, and again treating it as like, well, if this really would happen, like you know, people know what vampires are, they know what it is. So
yeah. I feel like it's a unique aesthetic for the vampire. Although I did appreciate you. I don't know if it was intentional, but you get the Reaver mouth from Blade
Yeah.
2, because it's
Well,
kind of it's explained as well in a bit that happens earlier in the film. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we that was the thing. It's like, try to be respectful of what came before, and like play all those rules as real, or what's real or what's not. That's kind of the fun of like vampire stuff anyways, is you're kind of setting your rules as it goes. But like it's a different, I would say it's like a different way to dramatize. Like we were always looking for a different way to sort of visualize or dramatize like pretty standard vampire rules. So like, have fun with clouding men's minds, and they can fly, and they can, like they have fangs, but they don't want to use their fangs because that's why they use the metal fangs, because they're like racist as fuck. So
Yeah. with like with applying vampirism to with combining vampirism with that kind of racism angle, I want to refer to, and guys, you'll remember this, we interviewed a filmmaker for a release this year,
Landlord.
a movie called Landlord,
Mm.
which has much more traditional vampire than in Night Patrol, preying on
I haven't heard of
a housing project, mostly
who did
kind
that?
of.
Who did Landlord?
Oh, you're gonna hate us, but I can't remember the filmmaker, even though
Oh,
we
sorry.
interviewed him.
I'll look it
Interviewed
up.
him.
That sounds
Yeah,
cool.
but yeah, it very interesting film. He's a much more kind of traditional Nosferatu-esque vampire, but he is.
He's a traditionalist. Him and Justin Long.
Yeah, exactly. You're not doing that. You're going in a different direction. But like, all monsters are metaphor, right? All the major monster archetypes can be kind of slotted in, but vampires in particular can be kind of easily latched onto a lot of different kind of concepts.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what?
it's
Why?
class, it's race, it's everything. There's so much there to kind of work with, even just from the history of vampire stuff as well, colonialism. Like we were kind of like, there's like a reverse. I mean, I guess if Dracula is like the first vampire, that's like rooted in like straight, like, like fervor of Eastern European smarmy, dark, whatever kind of shit from invading England or whatever. So like, I don't
Yeah.
know, but it kind of feels like the roots of the monster is yeah, it's going to be some kind of like cultural identity, politics sort of wrapped up in it.
Yeah. Is but like born from some sort of cultural kind of co-opting, like you say, and then we've just kind of
Or
continued
some
to use it for that.
fear of the invader or whatever it is, like he comes over on a rat infested ship and he's buying up land in London. Scary.
Yeah, or not. I don't know who would do that, but
Yeah.
yeah. I think so. Really great talking to you. I think I'm about to wrap up with my questions. I want to refer back to Low Life. Low Life is a fantastic film. I watched it
Oh, thank you.
close to original release. I was going to use it as a reference to that you've tried different genres, but as you say, Low Life is kind of a mix of everything, including horror.
Yeah,
I would say
that was like the first one, and I was like, "Shit, I got to get everything in here." So everything I like in it.
so.
Yeah,
Is it?
Sorry.
Is there something that you want to kind of now? You've done a lot of crime, you've done a lot of horror, you've done a blend of those two. Is there anything
Yeah.
you want to do next?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always kind of like I do like genre blending stuff. That's a lot of the stuff that I've written and pitching around for next steps or taking reads on or whatever. You kind of want to be able to brand yourself and be like, okay, this is like my lane or whatever. So, I love just genre specifically, and just being a student of it. It is like that, like, oh, what's kind of a blend or a fun twist that we haven't seen before. Always trying to come from that angle. So yeah, that's definitely like sort of the impetus of like the next sort of stuff I'm pitching around or things I'm reading or whatever.
Cool. Well,
Hopefully it won't take 8 years to get the next one out.
No.
hopefully not. Everyone, listeners, everyone go and see Night Patrol. You're going to see a lot of comparisons with other films. Believe me, it stands on its own. Go and see it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
thank you very much,
thanks for
Ryan.
coming, Ryan. Really appreciate it. Take care, man.
Yeah, appreciate you reaching out too.
Thanks, Ryan.
So that was Ryan Prows, a very lovely man. I like it when interviewees swear. Like, because they always seem to be on the best behavior. Like they're not sure whether you're allowed to swear, whether it's going on the radio or something. We're not ever going to be on the radio. This is
Yeah.
this is like our version of the radio. That's why we do it. But
A lot of our
yeah,
listeners don't know what the radio is, so
yeah, exactly. We've got generations coming up now who don't even they've never seen a radio, let alone listen to our podcast on one. So yeah, any future guests, if you wanna swear, be like Ryan, make a really good film, and then come on, we'll talk to you, and you can swear as much as you want.
yeah. I think it kind of it shows that they're having a good time, like talking about their film as
Yeah,
well.
it
They're
shows they're
not,
relaxed. That's more what I mean. It's like yeah, it kind of it feels more natural. I think if that's how someone talks, then they should swear. They should
yeah,
fucking swear. Again, is what I'm saying.
yeah, fucking,
So
yeah,
fucking
whatever.
man,
Yeah,
fucking man,
yeah,
game over, man. Right.
yeah,
So I've got some comments. We're going to talk about Jaws first because it's Jaws.
yeah.
Um, Mitchell says, "I have an extremely irrational but very real fear of the ocean because of being allowed to watch Jaws at a very young age. Well, you're in good company here. I'm also weirdly obsessed with sharks. Beast of War rips too. Well, it does, and I think that's probably something we're going to talk about a lot over the remaining time of this episode. Is our fear of sharks again because we're both shit scared of them, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm convinced. So, I spoke to my dear old decrepit mother recently,
He listens to this
and
show. Yeah.
yeah, well, hopefully not. Uh, and I asked her, "Do you remember when I was a kid and you made me watch Jaws and I got afraid from then on of anything deeper than a fucking inch of water?"
Yep.
And
Same.
and she said, "Yeah, I remember." And I said, "Was I afraid of water before then?" And she says, "No, you weren't." So
No.
my mother gave me thalassophobia.
Yeah, that's true. Thalassophobia is the name of the game with Jaws. It's left many people with it, including myself. I know for a fact it was watching Jaws that's given me this lifelong fear. I
And
know that for a fact.
I was thinking the other day as well. I had an irrational fear when I was a kid, combined with Jaws, that when I was in like, I used to love swimming in like the deep end of the pool, that there'd be
Mm,
like a little door that would open and a shark would come out and eat me. Like
yeah,
when I was, for
I,
anyone
I
who's,
don't like it now. Like like the wave pool and the sea life, not the sea life center, the sandcastle in Blackpool. It's like a
yeah,
cage at the end of it, and it's all dark inside it. I don't like looking in there.
yeah. So I wondered where that came from, if it was just an irrational kid's fear. And then I had like my 100th week rewatch of Thunderball, and it fucking happens in Thunderball. And I
Fuck
watched it
yeah.
at a similar time when I was a kid. So I've
Well,
watched Jaws, I've been shit scared of sharks, and I've watched Thunderball where someone opens up a door in a pool and lets a shark in.
actually, I wanted to. I've got it in my notes to mention that a bit later. That James Bond was probably a little bit to blame for all this as well, because I mean, I don't think sharks would have been used in so many James Bond films were it not for Jaws.
Yeah,
Um, but there's loads of them where people get eaten by sharks in Jaws films, live and let die. There's a shark in that. There's one where a woman gets thrown in a shark tank. There's one where Jaws, the character with the metal teeth, bites a shark and kills it. There's fucking sharks all over the shop in James
yeah.
Bond films. Anyway, Brian McCall. Hi, Brian. I've not seen the second film, but Jaws is a masterpiece and probably the greatest film ever made. Quint's description of the sinking of the ISS Indianapolis is the greatest moment in a perfect film. I'll watch Beast of War. Well, I hope you did watch Beast of War. And I
Yeah.
see no lies in any of your statement at all. I think arguably Jaws might well be the greatest film of all time if you took a poll on it among people of
Yeah.
a certain age.
Can we just like I don't want to. So I want to take a similar tack to when we were talking about The Exorcist, and I don't want to talk. I'm going to rattle through some quick
Mm-hmm.
facts for anyone that likes fun facts, but
We love a
I want to.
fact.
Yeah, I want to look at Jaws at a different angle.
Fact us up, Ken.
You don't stop now. Um, I want to look at Jaws from a different angle, but first, let us just acknowledge that when Steven Spielberg made Jaws, he was 20 fucking six.
Fucking asshole.
Insane.
What a piece of
26 years
shit.
old.
Imagine imagine having that level of talent at that age and busting out the greatest film of all time.
And not
That's
only
scarred.
that,
You basically left an entire generation with crippling phobia of water.
and yeah,
Stephen,
and not only that, but the filming of Jaws, like I recommend anyone who hasn't read it that is a fan of Jaws, go and get the Jaws log by Carl Gottlieb, who was the writer of the film, one of the writers
oh
of the
yeah,
film. It's basically a diary that he wrote while he was filming the film, and filming the film. Um, and basically making Jaws was an absolute fucking disaster from minute one to last minute, and it still turned out perfect, and it was still led by a 26-year-old man.
Ooh. Wow.
It's fascinating. It's
That's
fascinating.
nuts.
So
26.
I have two things. I want to run through some quick facts, and then I want to look at the impact of Jaws. So do we
All
have
right,
any
cool.
other kind
Yeah,
of
we do
guests?
actually. There's a few
Yeah.
more. There's not loads. So I posted out there on the Blue Skies asking for people to tell us their thoughts on either of these films. I said this week we're going to be talking about Big Fishy Bastards, right? And Eek replied and said, "Okay, at first I thought there was a movie called Big Fishy Bastards. Got to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. Yeah, I mean I would be as well. It was probably like I was thinking it would probably be something along the lines of the Asylum films, wouldn't it? You know, like eight dick
Sharktopus.
shark attack or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, some fucking nonsense like that. But yeah, I'd watch a film called Big Fishy Bastards.
Yeah.
David, the expat, says Jaws, best film ever. Beast of War, not great, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you can, I mean, the thematic link here obviously is it's not only sharks, it's the Indianapolis because Quint does that speech about the USS and is it ISS Indianapolis going down and
Yeah.
historical event. 1945, it got sunk by a Japanese torpedo. Um, Something obscene like how many people went in? 2,300 men went in and 300 men came out or something. Most of
Yeah.
them killed by shark attacks.
I don't know the
Uh,
actual facts because I can only hear Robert Shaw's voice in my head when I'm trying to remember. So
so, Beast of War, which is quite a new film, so we're not going to talk too in depth about it when we get to that stage because it's relatively new. We don't want to spoil it, but it is loosely based on that. It's a bunch of soldiers get sunk and then they end up kind of on a raft, and then a big fuck off shark comes and starts kind of picking them off one by one. So, I mean, we're comparing arguably the greatest film of all time to a knockabout, fun,
yeah.
action,
So
blokey horror film that's heavily inspired by the events that are talked about in that greatest film. So, no,
so like yeah.
I think we can say it's not great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Is it a great film? I
It's
mean, we compare it to Jaws, no, but I mean, I thought it was pretty great.
I think it's a
How
good
do you
film. I
measure
think
it?
Beast of War is a good film.
How do you measure
But
greatness? Yeah, I don't know.
in terms of measuring, I watched a lot of the reaction to Beast of War because I really wanted to see it at Grimfest when it was on, and I missed it.
Yeah, same
And
because it was on at stupid o'clock, like 10 o'clock at night.
yeah, Grimfest. Come on, man, we're
Come on,
old. I want to go to
lads.
bed. Um, and there was a lot of people, a lot of people doing coverage at Grimfest, and they were like, "It's the best shark film since Jaws," and I'm like, "It's good." But saying it's the best shark film since Jaws is like saying that you guys are the best bearded man since Randy Savage. There's just no
Well,
there's no comparison. You're a fine bearded man, but you're not as fine as the Phenom. Like,
I don't know actually. I take issue with that. I mean,
uh,
what's your what's your frame of comparison? It's like
well, there is
shade
no.
of
This
color.
is what I
Like,
mean. There is no frame of comparison. You are a great guy who has a beard, whereas Macho Man Randy Savage is Macho Man Randy Savage.
yeah, but I mean, what we're saying is the best one since then. That's okay, isn't it? I'm not. It's not saying it's
Well, no,
comparable to
like
it.
we
It's
had
not saying
plenty
it's the
of
same as Macho Man Randy Savage. It's saying it's the best one since him.
Beast of War is
Means
not as good as Deep Blue Sea. I'm sorry.
mm,
I am sorry, sir.
well, this is the thing. Well, I mean, what really good shark films are? The Reef was really good. Thought the
There's
Reef
a
was good. That scared the
I
shit out of me because that's got
so
really wide.
yeah, really, yeah. Really, is the Reef the one with Steven Seagal?
Steven Seagal,
Is it the one
the
with
martial artist,
no the Seagull?
or the
Ryan
Seagulls.
Ryan Reynolds misses what's she called?
Oh no, no, that's the Shallows.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, no, the Reef's the one where they're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and they have to swim for a reef, and it takes ages. And they fall asleep in the water and shit. But there's a great
Oh
white.
yeah.
That's got like really deep, wide shots of like just the ocean beneath them. So it's really triggering of that thalassophobia. If that's something you've got, that's
Yeah.
what it's scary about. You rarely barely see the shark in it. It's the water that scares you in that film.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is like when you do comparisons like this, like it belittles both well, it doesn't belittle kind of, you know, something like Jaws, but it belittles both films when you say stuff like that because think of all the other shark films that people have like worked really hard on. Like,
Yeah, of
there's
course.
47 meters down, 47 meters down, Uncaged, which are both great films. Deep Blue Sea 1, 2, and 3 are all good.
Oh, they actually.
Um,
I've only seen. I love the first one. I haven't seen two or three.
yeah, 1, 2, and 3 are good. There's a
All
really
right.
great film. I'm forgetting the name of it. Is it called like The Phantom or something? It's about a megalodon. But that's got like a
That's Shark
cool.
Attack 3 Megalodon.
No, it's not that. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a great film. That's the greatest shark film since Jaws.
Oh, it's called The Black Demon. Black
Oh, that's
Demon.
not, that was only out last year, eh?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
really good
remember that.
film.
The Black Demon actually is a genuine like cryptid, like a not a
Yeah,
genuine cryptid, but is out there in folklore. There's supposedly a giant black shark out there
yeah.
somewhere.
But anyway,
Um, right. So
but like we'll talk about Beast of War. But I've got right for anyone
hang
who
on, I've
likes
got one
fact.
last quote. Sorry,
Okay,
nearly done.
go.
Movie post-mortem is back. It says, "Never saw Beast of War, but I love the theme. Absolutely terrified of being attacked in any body of water that is so deep or murky that I can't see the bottom." Yes, I agree. Same. Can I also just say, thanks to Lewis, because I think we'd already cottoned on to the idea of doing these two together, but it was actually suggested to us as a pairing by a listener as well. So thanks, Lewis.
Oh yeah, I've really enjoyed rewatching Jaws for the
Mm.
578th time,
Brilliant.
and watching Beast of War.
Right. Do you want to kick off with your facts, Ken?
Yeah. Um. Well, I only put because I wanted to focus on stuff that isn't about the film, so I
Hmm.
thought I'd put together a bunch of stuff about the film. Everyone already knows this stuff, but if you've never seen Jaws or if you've just watched Jaws, here's a few rattling facts. The mechanical shark was named Bruce after Spielberg's lawyer. The shark is deliberately kept off screen for most of the film because it never fucking worked.
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna you're
which
gonna
works greatly to great effect in the film, actually.
yeah
Scarier for
yeah
that, I think.
yeah. You're gonna need a bigger boat as a Roy Scheider ad lib. The USS Indianapolis speech, which heavily features in the themes of like Beast of War. It was originally written by, so this is kind of like the Blade Runner speech from Roy Batty.
Which
No
was an
one,
ad lib as well, wasn't it?
it was a mix of things,
Was
right?
it?
So
All right.
everyone's like, "Oh, Rutger Hauer came up with it," and someone's like, "No,
Okay.
it was originally written." Very similar to Indianapolis speech. So it was originally written by Howard Sackler, who did an early draft of the script. It was polished by several other writers, finally reshaped by Robert Shaw himself to suit how he thought his character should deliver it. He
Okay.
multiple times tried to deliver it absolutely sozzled off his ass. So he could barely speak, he's slurring his speech. Um, he obviously failed, brushed himself off, came back the next day, did it in a couple of takes. So that's like the true kind of USS Indianapolis speech. It's never people like to aggrandize and say, "Oh, Robert Shaw came up with it on the spot." It's like kind of, but no. Um, so there's your facts.
All
The
right.
thing, the thing that no one really talks about with Jaws, and there's a great film that you reminded me existed called Sharksploitation,
Oh,
which
well,
is a
funnily enough, that's what I watched this week as my research for this because I've seen Jaws loads of times, and I've basically every single note I've made is cribbing their hard work from that documentary.
yeah, really good documentary.
Thanks,
Focuses
guys.
quite a lot on Jaws.
Yeah,
It's on, I think
loads.
it's on Shudder if you want to check it
It
out.
is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Since we plug Shudder every week, Shudder should really reach out to us. Just FYI.
Hello, Shudder.
Yeah. Um, Jaws is one of the most important films in cinema history, and that's not because it's a good film, right? So they touch on this. Whenever you think, if it, like, I don't know, if you're a student of film or if you know your chops about film,
Mm.
you always think that kind of Star Wars changed everything. Star Wars is like it's the nucleus for like the blockbuster. It changed like the summer landscape and all this stuff. Spielberg did it 2 years previous. So the summer period used to be similar to January is now. It was like a dumping ground for shite. Like, even though
Yeah,
January's kind of flipped now and you get a lot of good horrors that come out in January, but it used to be a dumping ground that no one gave a shit about because it's just before the Oscars, so there's no like
yeah,
Oscar bait. It's after the summer, it's after the Christmas period, no one gives a shit.
yeah.
Um, but Jaws was released in the summer, and it proved to studios that younger demographics actually wanted to go to the cinema during the summer jollies. So that was the beginning, the kernel of the summer period. Films are also used to release in increments across specific cities and cinemas.
Mm.
Universal released Jaws in 400 cinemas simultaneously. It was a huge box office success, forever changing how films were distributed
Wow.
completely. TV ad campaigns were not a thing. TV ad campaigns, you might get your ad like spot or like go and see this at the cinema or go to the cinema. They just weren't a thing back then. Universal spent almost 1 million on ads for Jaws, which was unprecedented at times, but it ushered in an era of the blockbuster campaign. Not just the blockbuster campaign, but you
So
know, trailers as we know them.
were they responsible then for the guy that goes this summer, like on every one?
Yeah,
Was
that
that
guy.
Jaws?
Yeah, like I mean, you had trailers that would air at the cinema. Um, I think so like drive-in theaters would do stuff, but TV ads, like showing people at home, like you instead you go and make a brew, you sit and watch like the
Hmm.
trailer for Jaws, and you're like, shit, I won't go and see Jaws. Combine that with the fact that it's on at 400 cinemas simultaneously, you can just go and see Jaws. That was kind of unprecedented. Merchandising was not a thing then. Like
Oh yeah, I saw this in that documentary. There's like Jaws the board game, but it was like Buckaroo, but with a big shark, and it bit you or something.
it was yeah, it just wasn't a thing. Like you might have got the odd thing, the odd license bit of bric-a-brac
Yeah,
elsewhere,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
heavy merchandising and merchandising campaign for a film was not a thing. So the summer release period, releasing films simultaneously in cinemas, TV ad campaigns, merchandising, all of it started by Jaws back in 1975 by Universal. 2 years later, George Lucas does it all times 100 for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And combined, though that 2 year period, those two summer periods, 1975 and 1977, fundamentally changed decades of cinema after. The business of cinema was shaped by Jaws
Wow.
from for the modern period. It's arguable that Jaws is the true turning point beyond the old studio system.
Well,
So,
that's a legacy. It's
so
just full of legacy. This film. There's so many things it's responsible for. That's incredible.
yeah. So it's something that I often kind of think about whenever I rewatch Jaws. Just what a colossal achievement it was for something that is essentially just a monster movie. Well, I mean that discounts it. It's like a lot of horror films. It's not just about the shark. That it's
Well, no,
about it's about small town America and
a
what
shitty
happens
mayor
when
and local politics.
local politicians taking advantage, literally fucking feeding the local
Mhm.
populace to a monster, which is
Yeah,
something that happens on a daily basis now.
yeah.
Um, the encroaching kind of city ideology of small town America. You've got like kind of the city police chief coming into this small town.
Hmm.
He's treated like an alien. No one believes him. It's kind of it's a very kind of prescient, really smart film.
Yeah, it is. It created quite a lot of bad will against sharks to Jaws, didn't it?
It did. Spielberg and the original author Peter Benchley heavily regret that. Both of them have since, obviously, Peter Benchley's no longer with us, but both
Hmm.
of them campaigned for kind of shark
The thing is,
preservation.
it's just people are so stupid, aren't they? I mean, why would you watch a film about effectively a monster shark and then go shark hunting? I mean, I'd like to think we've gone past that as a species, but then the same thing happened with Steve Irwin, didn't it? Like people were killing stingrays as like revenge attacks after one
Yeah,
accidentally stung and killed renowned conservationist Steve Irwin. Like, why? People are fucking stupid.
yeah, and I mean, it's the inability of the populace to not see a metaphor when it's
Mm.
put before them. And I mean, there's a lot of dialogue in the film that kind of twists the actual scientific facts of sharks, like the fact that they'll kind of pursue feeding areas, and you get rogues that are basically
Territoriality, yeah, that doesn't
yeah,
exist, does it? I learned that in the documentary.
yeah,
What do you know that about that documentary though? There's that marine biologist naysaying and just ruining everything that everyone. He's like all the way
yeah,
through it. He's just miserable. He's like, there's that because I found out as well. There's a bit in Jaws: The Revenge, which very famously isn't a good film, and also very famously has a roaring version of the shark.
It does.
Um, but it's pointed out in sharksploitation that actually that happens in Jaws 3, so it didn't actually start there. There's a scene in
Roaring.
Jaws 3 where the shark roars in Jaws 3 under the water, like this guttural roar. But the marine biologist, I can't remember his name, comes on saying, "Well, sharks don't communicate verbally, actually." And then and then he goes on about deep blue sea. He's like, "Well, that's stupid because sharks do get cancer." It's like, oh, fuck off, mate.
Well, it
Let me
doesn't
have
work
more
with
fun.
yeah, it doesn't work with Deep Blue Sea because they're super sharks. They're genetically
Well,
engineered
well,
sharks.
exactly, yeah. So, what do marine biologists know anyway? I don't know. Um, so another thing that was pointed out was that just to touch back on Jaws: The Revenge, Jaws: The Revenge is at the point that it becomes a slasher. Jaws becomes a slasher because it telepathically follows Brody's wife. What's her name now?
Mrs. Brody.
Mrs.
Yeah.
I want to say Karen, but I don't know if it is. Um, it follows her to like a new life and starts eating like her family members.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so
she's like, "Oh, it's took my husband, it took my son. I
yeah,
need revenge on this shark."
yeah. This shot. Well, that's it. I mean, a lot of the sequels to slasher films are about people getting revenge. Look at Tommy Jarvis coming back to try and make sure that Jason's really dead and all that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Jaws 3 is a good one. Like,
Jaws 3D.
yeah, Jaws 3D. Sorry, yeah, I never picked up on this because I watched that as a kid, and that still scared me because it was a big shark and thalassophobia. But there was a really good point they made in that documentary where the kind of climax where it smashes through into that underwater sort of aquarium thing. It swims up to the glass to shatter it, the viewing panel, the window pane, but it goes so slowly. It looks like just not remotely threatening.
Yeah.
It's like literally just trudging its way through the water to the point that it hits this glass, and it just doesn't look like it's going fast enough. And then you get that bit in Deep Blue Sea where one of the sharks throws Skarsgård's character, who's still strapped to the gurney. It throws him at an underwater, like a glass pane, a viewing platform under the water, and that smashes, and that looks really good. So it's like someone watched Jaws 3D and went, "I can do that better. I can
Rennie
do that
Harlin.
scene justice." Yeah, Rennie Harlin decided he could do that. He could do that well.
I love Deep Blue Sea so very
Deep
much.
Blue Sea's mint. Yeah, yeah. There is quite a bit of bad CGI still involved in that, but it's a lot of fun. But again, for me, it's half the fear of that film is the thalassophobia. There's shots just out into the nothingness and the vastness of the ocean,
Yeah,
which
I
is kind
remember.
of scarier than like some of the sharks in the film.
Yeah, I remember being just a bit more on Deep Blue Sea, away from Jaws. I remember being really scared when I watched Deep Blue Sea at the cinema when LL Cool J's trapped in the oven
Oh
and
yeah,
there's a shark like trying to get in. Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah. It's a scary film.
Should we move on to Beast of War?
No, I want to talk
Okay.
a little bit more about the
Sure.
just the legacy because we talked about
We
legacy
could we
briefly
could have an
before.
entire episode on Jaws, to be fair.
I know. I just want to talk a little bit more about some of the things that influenced. So around post Jaws, we had Alligator.
Oh, I love that film.
Well, it was 1980, so it was I am Alligator years old because I was born in 1980. It's like my year of birth film. That and The Shining are my horror pedigree films. Um, yeah, Alligator. We had Orca,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Tintorera. There was
Tintorera.
one just called Shark, which apparently a stuntman died on.
Oh, that yeah, that was on the sharksploitation
Yeah, it was.
documentary. Yeah, and
So they
they
publicized the
yeah
shit out of that because any publicity is good publicity and all that. So
yeah
apparently a stuntman died, but then it's not been debunked, but apparently there are no records of anyone actually dying in the officially. So it might be bollocks. They might just have made it up for the publicity of it.
okay.
Uh, and then they started doing land ones, like you had Grizzly, which is about surprisingly a bear.
That's a good film.
And then you had Razorback.
That's
Um,
also a good film about a pig.
yeah, it's a big like a boar thing in it.
Yeah.
Piranha.
Yeah, so Piranha's a really interesting one because it's very deliberately a tongue-in-cheek rip on Jaws,
It is.
like very on the nose, and it also kind of kickstarted the career of Joe Dante, Gremlins Joe
Yes, yeah,
Dante.
it did. Well, apparently, Piranha came out around the same time as Jaws 2,
Yeah.
and Paramount didn't want that, and they threatened an injunction because it was going to be so similar, underwater beasties and that. But
Oh,
apparently,
I know this factoid.
Spielberg himself stepped in and said, "No, you're not getting this. This film's a spoof of what we do. There's no reason to file an injunction against it." So they didn't do it, and it came out. So
He's just the,
Like Joe Dante was very knowing about what he was getting into.
when people when people say someone's like so good and it gets really boring, it's never boring to say Steven Spielberg is the fucking master.
Yeah, just an all-round good egg.
This is the man that not only made Jaws when he was 26, but did active production on Jurassic Park and Schindler's List at the same time.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He was
Putting us
doing
all to shame.
post-production. I don't know if he was doing post-production or pre-production by video on the set of Jurassic Park for Schindler's List. How'd you
Thing
get your
is,
headspace
I
in
don't know,
those?
but this is it. I mean, the guy lives and breathes film. You can only do that if you love film more than anything else, and that's why it shows through in his films. That's why he's Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
So it got spoofed in Airplane, did Jaws?
Yes, it
Spoofed
did.
in Back to the Future 2, was it? Where it goes Jaws 19.
Jaws 19, the shark still looks fake.
Yeah, it's referenced in Clerks. It's referenced in Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. There's a bit where Freddy's glove portrays the fin of a shark, and it cuts through the water, then onto through the sand on the beach like a dorsal fin.
Oh, that's Rennie Harlin.
Was that really Harlan? Dream
Dream
Master.
Master's Rennie Harlin.
Well, there you go. So he was already thinking about Deep Blue Sea at that point with dorsal fins and gloves.
Yeah.
And then we had Tremors, which was basically land sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Tremors. I think, the you just mentioned when you mentioned Airplane, it made me think of something very specific. Along with Star Wars, and obviously, as um, of you film buffs will know, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas are best of mates. Um, their career kind of most of the 70s and 80s was kind of in sync together.
Yeah.
Um,
They're the kind of
when
guys who take out newspaper adverts to congratulate each other on toppling
yeah,
each other's box office records, aren't they?
I think they had a ritual where they would go to like Miami Beach or Hawaii or something after they'd made a film when it was being distributed because they were scared that it would be a failure. So like Lucas went to the beach when Star Wars was released with Spielberg, and Spielberg did the same with Jaws and stuff like that. And I think the two things that they also share is from an early editing stage, it wasn't there with Jaws. Like Spielberg didn't quite have it. It wasn't working. And who steps in? Who steps in and makes the entire film? I'll give you a guess. Can you guess, Gaz?
No, no, just enlighten me. I can't do guessing games. They leave me too
John
anxious.
John Williams.
John Williams.
So both Star Wars and Jaws, from an early stage, he wasn't set in stone for the music. So
Right.
imagine like cutting together and filming what would eventually go on to be like this iconic film, and you don't have that signature sound. And he comes in, and it's the da
Yeah,
da,
well, there we go.
and like everyone in multiple generations knows the Star Wars theme, knows the Jaws theme, knows the Indiana
Yeah,
Jones
people
theme.
who've never seen Jaws know the Jaws theme.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's
there
so
aren't many
simple.
people about who haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you've almost definitely heard the theme tune somewhere because it's just universal, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Universal.
Ironically, have you ever read Jaws?
Do you know what? I have not. It's a
It's
big
not.
regret of mine.
I read it when I was in high school. My biggest takeaway from it was how lame the ending is, right? Because it's very different from the film. Do you want me to spoil it on the show?
Does he eat Chief Brody?
No. Well, like you got that great climax where he's got the gas canister in his mouth and he's like, "Smile, you son of a bitch!" Incredible
Yeah.
one liner. I still say that to bosses in video games before I do the last hit on them.
Yeah.
Right, 1 HP left. Smile, you son of a bitch. Boom, gone. Right.
Yeah.
Um, in the book, it's succumbed to wounds, right? It's got wounds, sorry, as this shark, and then it's swimming up to Brody in the water, and it just dies.
Oh,
It's fucking lame. It just dies. It doesn't. It's just like, I can't quite make it there and eat him, and it just fucking dies.
that's why movies are better than books, folks.
Well, yes, in some ways. So there we go. I won't spoil any more of Jaws the book, but the film's better. Just watch the film, honestly. Should we go on to Beast of War?
Beast of War, which I kept for some reason calling it in my head Beasts of War, but there's only one beast. Well, actually, there's not one
Are you
beast.
thinking of Beasts of No Nation, that Idris Elba film?
I am thinking of beast possibly, but I
Well, it's a
guess
really good film. That
there's not just one beast. Yeah, very different film than this. It's
bit
not just
scary.
one beast because there's many beasts in Beasts of War. The Beast of War.
Beast of Man's
It's
inhumanity to man.
yeah. Well, I guess the title is a metaphor, isn't it? It's not the shark; it's the Beast of War.
The war machine itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, Beast of War, Kai Roche Turner, as you mentioned. So
that's how you say
essentially,
it. I've been saying it wrong. I thought it was
I
Kia.
have
Is it
no
Kaya?
idea. I have no idea. I
Kia,
also
Kaya. If you're listening to the show, do write in and tell us how we say your name. Thanks.
he's New Zealand or Australia. So
One of I think he's
Kia.
Australian.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, that's the kind of thing that can get you in trouble, like, in it, if you get that wrong. I'm gonna say I don't know.
I mean, I'd love him. I'd love him to come on the show.
I
But
messaged him. He didn't reply.
oh, well, he's a busy guy. I mean,
To be fair, a lot of people that I reach out to, I do so on Instagram. Sometimes it bears fruit, such as our interview with Ryan Prows and Julia Max. Sometimes not so much because if you're not following each other on Instagram, you don't always see the message. It goes into the shitty other folder that you wouldn't think to look at. So it doesn't mean he ignored us and hates the show. I mean, it's quite possible that he listened to it and thought, "Who are these fuckwits? I'm not going on that."
yeah,
But
it's really hard to
realistically,
understand us as well. It's the Manchester accent.
exactly. I mean, I'm pretty sure no one knows what we're talking about most of the time.
Yeah,
But yeah, I suspect he just didn't see the message, to be fair.
yeah. Um, yeah, so Beast of War, the concept of it is really easily explained because we just talked about Jaws, and there's a very famous scene in Jaws where Robert Shaw recites his experience of being on the USS Indianapolis, a
Hmm.
ship that sank, and all of his soldier mates went into the water, and sharks kind of ate them. So that's kind of this, but a film. Um, Most of the film is set at sea,
Yep.
where the main character's kind of stranded, and he's kind of a monster shark. It's a monstrous shark. This one, I think,
It's a fucking scary looking
it's
shark.
like a Jason Voorhees shark.
Well, actually, I just remembered something else about Jaws. The reason in Jaws 2 that the shark is scarified at the beginning because that woman sets herself on fire and blows the boat up while the shark's trying to eat it.
Oh yeah,
The reason they did that was to differentiate it from the shark of the first one, so it looked more scary. So it's got all burnt face. So this is kind of on point with that, I think, because this one's got like white eyes, like a proper, like a
yeah.
Resident Evil shark or something.
It's a practical shark, right? It
I
looks
think so. Yeah,
practical.
yeah. I've seen some videos about the practical effects. I forget which effects company did it. Sorry, guys, but yeah, practical shark. I've seen videos of them mooching about, moving the mouth up and down, opening
Yeah,
and closing the mouth and stuff.
it's interesting that a lot of the making ofs and like the interviews with Turner, they talk about like budgetary restraints
Mm.
because you can't tell this film looks gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I mean, to be fair, a lot of it's shot in the dark. I mean, I think they use that to great effect, like they do with stuff like the latest Godzilla film. Not the latest Godzilla film, 2014. Like
Yeah,
most
so
of that
yeah,
takes place at night, so it kind of disguises the fact that there's stuff around there that you might not want to see in too much great detail, considering the budget. So it works. It works. The setting for it's perfect for Beast of War because it's supposed to be in the middle of the ocean with
yeah,
mist and the darkness that comes with it.
yeah. So um Kaya Roach Turner. I say Roach like SH as well. I don't know why I do. I don't know why I pronounce
I
his
think it
name
would
like
be
this.
Roche. It sounds like Roche to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Roche.
would think it would be Roche.
So he started his career with Wormwood, Road of the Dead, which
Yeah,
is kind of Mad Max Zombies, great film.
lovely film.
Um,
Yeah, we like that one.
yeah, he did a sequel to that in 2018, I think. I haven't seen the sequel yet. I wanted to cover it for the show. Um,
Sure,
but he made Sting, the
he
spider
did,
film, which we
which we
did
talked
cover.
about in another life. Yes.
which is very good. And now he's back in Sting, Hollywood pick. Now he's back in his native Australia, because Beasts of War is a the soldiers are Australian soldiers,
Hmm.
which is unusual for a film that is World War Two. I think it's the Pacific War because are they taken down by Japanese?
I think so.
Yeah, because there's a Japanese soldier at the end of the film.
That's
Um,
correct. Yes, there is. Yeah, let's not let's remember not to spoil this too much though.
yeah, because it's a newer film, so we
There is
won't
a
spoil.
Japanese
But
soldier in it. I don't think that's anything.
yeah,
Yeah, you'd probably figure that out. I don't think that's a bad one.
yeah, but the good thing about much like Jaws is about kind of small town politics
Mm.
and that sort of stuff. Uh, Beast of War is about kind of institutional racism, and war, obviously war. Like it's about war, the Beast of War.
I mean, what is it good
But
for?
exactly, her, what, who, etc. Um, so the main character is a Aborigine. He's a native.
Yeah, that's Mark
Uh,
Smith, right?
yeah, really, really good performance.
Hmm.
He's pretty much there's a couple of one main kind of colleague of his. Colleague, you call them colleagues in the army? Colleagues? What are they called?
Sure, I don't know.
You can't call them comrades because that's a bit too rusky.
Um, I don't
It's
know what you'd
rusky,
call
as in
them.
risky. Do you get it?
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm just moving on from that. I don't know what you call them in your colleagues in the military.
Well, anyway, his colleague, Mark Cole Smith, plays a character called Leo. His colleague is very, very, very racist. He says some
Yes,
horrible things to him throughout the film.
yeah, he does.
The good thing is, Leo is hard as nails and like beats the shit out of him on several occasions.
Yeah, he don't fuck about.
Yeah, so there's a nice. I really like the opening. The opening is kind of like a boys' own adventure, like where they kind of
Yeah,
training in this kind of some Pacific island or something. I don't know.
yeah.
Um,
The squad is going through squaddy shit,
Squaddy's
basically.
going through squaddy shit. It's very much like Dog Soldiers, like when
Yeah.
Dog Soldiers opened, and it's like they're on maneuvers, and
Oh no,
you
you know
get
what? Dog Soldiers would have made a great companion piece to Beast of War, wouldn't it?
yeah,
If we hadn't talked about it about a
but
hundred times already.
we are very lazy, and a shark movie with a shark movie is pretty good.
But it was about the Indianapolis man. It wasn't about the shark.
Yeah,
So
it's not about the
it's a
shark.
more tenuous link.
Um, yeah, so they do this like boys' own adventure, and you get to know the characters, and then when they're stranded on the water, it's all very moody. It's all like
Mm.
they're very lost at sea. It's very kind of gothic because it's like this fog all around them, and they're like they're in a dream, drifting through the fog. You're never quite sure what is real and what's not.
Yeah, and
And
there are actually dream sequences thereabouts too, aren't there? Leo's always drifting off into subconscious and remembering some events from his past and things like that.
yeah,
And
Leo's
it does
yeah,
blur with what's happening in the reality of the situation as well.
yeah, um, and the focus is quite often on Leo and what he's been through and the interpretation of him by the racist guy. Um, And yeah, that's it's a it's a simple film that if you want to look into it and you want to think about like the aspect of how the shark is a metaphor for war itself and the kind of racism side of it, you can find that. But on the surface of it, it's kind of a really simple, really effective shark movie. Really
Blokey
kind of
shark adventure film. Yes.
Blokey Shark Adventure is got some really, really gnarly injury scenes.
Oh yeah, it does.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of my notes are just jokes because it's actually quite funny.
Mm.
Like there's a there's a kind of explosion scene and someone's like, "You've got guts on you," which is a really great joke because he's just showed a timid character, your usual timid
Yeah,
archetype has just shown balls, and someone immediately says you got guts on him, but he also has guts on him.
yeah, literal
It's
guts.
it's quite funny.
It's a great visual joke. Yeah, it's
Um,
like dog soldiers all over that, and yet there is no spoon.
yeah.
This is same mindset.
Yeah, speaking of that explosion as well, I love the like you blew up Stan, you fucking idiot. That was a good line.
Yeah,
Um,
It's full of great one-liners. To be fair, it's a very funny film.
It has a really, really funny joke, which I won't spoil, but it involves drinking your own piss.
Oh yeah, that's a good scene. Well, it's a bit grim, but yeah. Um, the shark. Can we talk about the shark again for a minute? Because there's a really
Yeah,
good bit. I mean, this one doesn't hide the shark at all. It comes out of the water and it's big and it's got an ugly face and it looks terrifying. It's got the
yeah,
big, great white mouth and its teeth. I paused the film loads of times because the first glimpse you see of the shark, you don't really see it. You can see it under the water doing something, but it's like a second's glimpse of it, and you can't see the full thing. And I kept
yeah,
pausing it to see if I could actually rewind it, and I couldn't quite pause it on the right bit to see whether you do actually see the full shark there. But it's almost like it's a split second suggestion of it, this thing below the water, which is just makes it all the more terrifying again.
yeah, yeah. It's a really cool use of the shark. Like they said, they had kind of budgetary restraints, and I think that's kind of has restricted them from using these. There's no big set pieces. It's all, like I said, Jason Voorhees. It'll kind of stalk up and it like silently grabs them, or you'll have a bit where it'll like bite someone in half or something.
Yeah, it's
I
very
like the
grisly.
I like the early. There's an early shot. It's very like a micro scene of the guy kind of like he's floating on a barrel and he's the first one to go and you don't see anything, but it's really kind of edited well and shot
I think
like
that's the bit I'm referring to, where there's a glimpse where you see under the water, you sort of see the shark, but you sort of don't. It's like there's this white thing that
yeah,
just sort of appears, but then it's gone. It's like you don't really see it doing anything.
yeah. And it's just a really stylish film. I mean, it's like not to spoil, but there's the gorgeous sunset lit finale. You know what it kind of reminded me of in tone and kind of style. Skull Island, the King Kong film from a few
Oh
years back.
yeah, a lot of orange. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like
A lot
right
of
down to the posters and yeah,
yeah, a lot of orange, a lot of like normal soldiers dealing with a almost supernatural creature.
yeah. And there's
Um,
hella monsters on Skull Island. It's not even just Kong. There's a big fucking spider and all sorts. It's
Big
horrible.
spiders and like skull crawlers and all sorts. No
Yeah.
Godzilla though.
No Godzilla, not yet. He's
No.
asleep at this point, I think, in that timeline, isn't he?
There's no shark kaiju, is there? You think there would be?
Not unless you're talking about Shark Attack 3 Megalodon, which, as I said
No.
previously, is the greatest shark film since Jaws.
Yeah. Not not Sharknado 5.
Oh,
I assume there's five of
T-Ready
them. I just
Shark
said
Attack,
that.
Sharktopus. What else is there? Mecha Shark versus Robot Crocodile or some shit. I don't
Do you
know.
know
There's a lot of them about.
do you know what I thought was really funny? And this is gonna make me sound like such a dick, but like watching the sharksploitation documentary, and they have this special effects guy that works for Asylum that makes all like the Sharknado and the Sharktopus and
Yeah.
all them. And he's such a well-spoken, professional sounding fellow, but he's also the SFX guy for like the Asylum films. So he's all of those horrific effects like he's responsible for. It's
Yeah.
yeah, I just
He's
felt
just like
like
a nice chap. He's responsible for all this grisly death.
I had such conflicting feelings. Um, but yeah, I don't have lots to say about Beasts of War.
Well,
It's a good I think it's a good movie. It's an incredibly well made movie. I don't think there's any sort of comparison to Jaws other than, it works from that concept.
yeah. I mean, we just wanted to talk about sharks, didn't we? Essentially. And I mean, I like to hit up a good shark film, as we talked about at the beginning of the show. If it persuades some people to watch the film, which apparently it has, then we've kind of done our job because we want people to see the films that we like and support the
Yeah,
industry. We want more shark films and more horror films generally.
Beast of War is also, as we've mentioned, worth watching because it's one of the many films that are basically racism is bad.
Well, yeah, no arguments there. And as well as which, I know you said we've not got a lot to say about Beast of War, but it's a new film. There's objectively less to talk about because it just simply doesn't have the legacy that Jaws does for many reasons, notwithstanding the fact that it's only been out for a month or two anyway. You know,
Yeah,
but it's a
and
cracking
we don't
film.
want to spoil as well. I could give a
Exactly.
blow
We
by
don't want to
blow some of
spoil
my
it,
favorite scenes.
but
Yeah,
if you want to see a good, fun, grisly, gory shark adventure with a terrifying fucking shark with some squaddies fighting a shark, then absolutely watched Beast of War, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think we'll leave it there, Ken, unless you've got anything else that you've got a burning desire to say.
No.
Right. So coming up on the Morgue shortly, we've got director of Witch in the Window and Yellow Brick Roads, Andy Mitten. We managed to snag him for an interview. So that'll be in the next episode, not next week, but the week after that.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
And then in March, we've got still, I think, John Adams and Toby Poser of
I'm
Hellbender fame.
very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm well excited about that. And also, I've got Shudder this week. So I'll be watching Mother of Flies, which is their latest film, which you can watch on Shudder. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
It's very good. I've watched it. It's very good.
I might watch it tonight, actually. That might be my thing I do after recording. Right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Get in touch and tune in for the next episode next week. In 2 weeks. Fuck. I always mess that up. With 2 weekly, it'll be out in a couple of weeks. Thanks. See you all soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Live from Manchester Morgue is an independent horror movie podcast, researched, written, produced and hosted by Gary Hames and Ken Talbot. New episodes air every 2 weeks on Spotify, Apple, YouTube and all major podcast providers. You can help us grow by leaving a rating or sharing the show with like-minded friends. If you want to get in touch, you can leave us a comment or email us at killertunes976@gmail.com.